Well, I've been in food service for almost 45 years now. And after a while, you start seeing the same problems all over. Unfortunately, what you're seeing is low skill sets for the frontline staff.
My grandfather started a food manufacturing company in northwestern Missouri, and then my dad took on that same line of thought. And I grew up as a little kid, hanging out with my dad, just trying to be with him all the time, and sitting in the office, I guess, and without knowing it, just absorbing this whole industry, and just fell in love with it. From there, I just continued to grow my own career and had my own, restaurants, bakery, deli, all kind of combinations of things that I'd worked in. How Pineapple came about to date was really a conversation with a customer. The casinos moved into Kansas City. The average pay rate that people were paying just dramatically went up because the casinos had the ability to pay a lot more. And as a result, there wasn't as much skilled labor. And this particular manager said, I'm just concerned about my people. When he said, there's just nothing out there that's a trusted resource. And I searched forever and couldn't find one. And that's when I found Greg.
There's some fundamental and foundational education and training that is completely missing. And you see a lot of people using different language for the same type of a task. By observing this in the field, we just realized that, hey, we need to get some quick, easy, effective, short videos out there. One video can be distributed to thousands and thousands of people. Suddenly, you've created that many skill sets in the workplace. And then you start adding in the secret sauce of, technology development and marketing and the team that we're building.
When me and my wife were about to have our first kid, she told me that she didn't want to go back to work. She wanted to stay at home. So at that time, being a new software engineer, I was looking for extra work. So I put myself out on Craigslist of all places, and Tucker's previous company was looking for a hired hand to help with some of their technology needs.
Scott's my magic problem solver. With Scott, you don't try to tell him what you need or how to do it. With Scott, you simply start with the problem.
I met Sam at church. I was telling her about Pineapple Academy and the exciting experience that we had, and that we were looking for someone to help.
My background is pretty diverse. I have a lot of experience with my family's retail and restaurant business. I love the hospitality industry. I love the educational aspect.
Went to college at Kansas State University. I studied in my bachelor's and my master's there in hospitality administration and management, with an emphasis in food service and restaurants. After graduating, I moved on to be a culinary operations manager for K-State's dining department. Pineapple Academy, in kind of a long-about way, I met with one of our current customers for a job opportunity, who actually directed me to Tucker and Greg. I love being able to just talk to people and trying to help their operations and really determining the best way to utilize our training to help their current employees.
So when we first started doing content and doing our own videos, after if you've been through this enough, you kind of realize, well, we need to kind of bring this in-house now. We need to actually have more control of our schedule and the ability to create content quickly.
So my background is in film production and journalism. After college, I got a job with Moscow Ballet as their touring photographer and videographer for the Nutcracker. In 2014, I accepted a position as the director of photography for an art company based in Raleigh, North Carolina. At that time, I was looking for new opportunities. I'm getting a job at a startup as the creative director. Around the time of COVID is when I knew I wanted to change. I'd been there for about 5 years. I was really starting to get burnt out. One day I came across this ad. They were looking for a creative director type role. I had a Zoom call with Greg Gorgoni. It was so different than any other interview I'd ever done. I didn't feel like it was an interview. It was more about who I was as a person and kind of what I wanted to do.
Originally went to college for communications with a minor in English. So I did a lot of video production, a lot of written copy. So after college, I actually worked a number of different jobs across a variety of industries and really found my passion amongst two things, which was production and marketing and training. Between food service, retail, and healthcare, I held a number of positions where I was involved with training both clients and new employees of those companies.
So I met Dan McIsaac around the end of 2016. He was the director of social media for the marketing agency we were at, which meant he was the voice of all of our clients online. As Pineapple Academy started to grow, we realized that we were really going to need some support in our marketing department.
When Daniel reached out to me and let me know that they had an opportunity to grow the marketing department, I was extremely excited.
Our team in itself is amazing. We have such great collaboration, just a camaraderie. It's really fun to be able to work with a group of people who are all on the same page, and all of those different experiences that they bring together and bring to the table.
Future, I think, for Pineapple that I see is that we started in food service and we kind of started with a very small, just focused problem to solve, and that problem is going to expand. We have to anticipate the needs of the individuals we are trying to serve.
Being here from the beginning and seeing how far we've come in such a short period of time, I am most excited to see where we are going to go.
We're looking at interesting ways to integrate with platforms that companies already have at their disposal to make our training easier to access with less overhead.
We're moving into college and university. We're going to move into K through 12, and there's just a lot of applications for Pineapple Academy that I just see us growing so much.
The goal of Pineapple is simple, is to become the standard for on-the-job training.
We want to simplify processes, allow people to move up through different levels of organizations and be able to find careers instead of just jumping from one job to another.
And so we're trying to really help cultures improve in the workplace through education and training. Because at the end of the day, it's all about knowledge. The workplace is only as effective and as enjoyable as the skill sets of the people that you work with.
80% of the world doesn't work at a desk. We have a very large opportunity to help these people. The meaning of hospitality means something to everybody. The meaning for me is anticipating the needs of the individual.
Go Pineapple.